It is pointless to resist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 243, being recorded on January 24th, a very shaky SoCal 24th. About 5 minutes ago, we had an earthquake, and that's nothing new for us. None of the toys fell, just a little bit of a good...
Not a one.
Brought to you by Tashi
two.
Station Emporium.
I
That's
told you
right.
I'd make it shake.
That's 2 in 2 weeks.
Greatest
and
advertisement.
nothing fell.
Well, anyway, I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here with me.
What's shaking, nerds?
I've got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hi.
Are you?
No, not yet. Well, earlier. Well, we're not discussing this right now.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Maybe a little.
Bootleg Joe got the invite. I don't know where he could be, so maybe he'll pop in later. And Ernie is still doing his.
He shot a stock photo into the chat with his computer updating.
Yeah.
So
Joey is updating his computer.
I thought maybe he was under a table.
Joey, I've seen that same screenshot at work. I've seen it.
It's
people.
iStock.com. I mean,
yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, come on, dude. Yeah, and Ernie is finishing up his Fallen Fett Chronicle, so I'm sure he'll pop in.
He's celebrating his 500th episode still.
He's still Ernie is still
a follower. I mean,
it's a never-ending party.
It's a marathon.
Oh my goodness! But Yeah, so before we get into all the good Star Wars stuff, because we got some Star Wars stuff. I mean, we got some stuff.
Some
really
weird
soon.
Star Wars stuff, right? Like what the
It's
hell?
some weird
Star Wars
yeah.
stuff.
There's some
Like,
stuff to talk about, which always makes a good time for us. But before we get into all that, I'm gonna kick it over to Scott Solo so we can shout out our Shadow Council and see who everybody's being digested in the pit. So Scott, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Special shout out to our amazing, wonderful, fantastic, fantabulous Shadow Council. That would be AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C., Cliff, Crystal E., who is sending me texts saying that she's scared out of her damn mind right now because of the earthquake. So that was fun. Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Luke, aka Junk Droid 77, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Nicholas Schaefer, Papa Schmitty, Ryan, and the Star Joe's podcast. Thank you, one and all. If you too want to become a Shadow Council member, next week, by the way, is our Shadow Council episode. So the voted on topic, the votes were tabulated. We know what the topic is next week, and we're not going to tell you. We're just going to spring it on you next week. But if you want to start joining in on these amazing votes and all the other behind-the-scenes nonsense we do, scan that QR code right there, donate a couple of bucks a month, or log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest and donate today. And you know what? I'm not done. You thought I was done talking, but oh no, I'm still going. We've got Rhino Hobbies. I can't even say it right. We've got Rhino Hobbies, Don the Dad Dorn. We've got Crystal E in there. We've got Mando Mike, and you got to highlight Mando Mike's second comment.
Mando Mike, nothing like being in the shower and the world shakes at your feet while you're naked and vulnerable.
Sure. His hand was just on it, and the earth did the rest. That's what he's trying to get at.
Oh, God. We've got Gavin Connor's in there.
Hold on, let me. Yeah. Okay, that was
hard
awesome.
to recover from that.
That is hard one. Whoa, here we go.
Whoa, not anymore.
Oh God, we've got Gordon in there. We've got Antonio. What's up, Antonio? How's it going, man? We've got who else? We got Papa Schmitty, and yeah. So if you're in there, say hello. We'll give you a shout out and pull your name up on the screen here. It's pretty cool.
Cento 1414. Did we say
Cento 1414? Oh, hey, you popped up.
You just popped in right when you turned your head.
Oh, okay, cool. Papa Schmitty, you see a naked man running down the street, you run with that man.
You run with that man. Exactly.
Not into an alley or a building. No, that's bad advice. You just run, not with him though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's funny. No. That's funny. Well, yeah, I mean, living in the desert, that's what happens, you know. Everywhere. It's so funny, like so last week we were talking about, you know, revisiting Book of Fett, right? We were going to do all these things, and then
I did.
Yeah. So it was funny because I was like kind of getting ready to combat Book of Fett and all these things, and not. It was just like as soon as that Bad Batch trailer hit, I was so relieved to not talk about Book of Fett, and not because I didn't like it, just I didn't really want to get into it with anybody.
Oh, we still got another week. We got to fill time next. We got to fill time the week after next, and I'm all prepped for it
because I was trying to. Because the whole purpose was to revisit and see how it holds up to today and all that stuff, right? And as I'm watching it, I'm going through it. I'm like enjoying it, you know. And I could sit there and go, okay, there's that. Okay, I know that. All right, okay, there's that problem. And then Chris starts going with I'm starting it, and then he starts chiming in, and I was like, you know, I don't want to talk about it no more.
Yeah, it didn't take me long, dude. It didn't take me long, and I'm like, every episode is pissing me off. It's probably best we don't. It's probably best we don't do it. So because I thought, remember, I watched it twice, and the second time was better than the first. But this time I'm like, oh, cool, this is going to be good. Wow. Open-minded, ready to roll. Right? Let's get this ready for the show. Let's discuss why this is okay. Let's
Right.
get around the bikes. Let's get around
Right.
all this stuff. And then I watch it and I'm all, no.
Yeah,
sucks.
it's because
I'm
we're
mad
not
about
watching it now for enjoyment factor. We're watching it now to basically get it
Put it in its place.
Yeah, put it in its
Yeah.
place and put it, you know, set in stone and all these things. And like I said, to me, for the most part, there's really good stuff in it. But like like to compare, before we get into the Bad Batch, because we are going to get into it, but to compare, like Kenobi has some cringe moments, but the overall story is it's there and it works. It's all,
it makes sense.
I like
connected.
It.
Yeah, it's all connected and stuff. But with Boba Fett, it's like there's some really cool stuff, but the story isn't there. And I was, you know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. If this was a complete brand new character, would it bug you that much that of all of those things because it's Boba Fett? Yeah.
No, if what we got from the Mandalorian was Boba Fett, if Boba Fett would have been Din Djarin from the beginning, it would have been everything I'd always dreamed a Boba Fett show could be.
But no Grogu.
But no, well, I mean,
I wouldn't have wanted Boba with Grogu. That's
what I'm saying.
We've softened him. We've softened him.
Maybe
you think Boba Fett would have blasted Grogu when he got the bounty?
No,
I mean,
I don't think so.
No,
I don't. No, not based on everything we've seen in the Clone Wars and all that with young Boba Fett and how he actually had a conscience. It's we have Boba Fett built up in our heads from all the novels and stuff that we had written, we had read. But if you go back and you watch his appearances on the Clone Wars, he was actually developing a conscience, becoming kind of an anti-hero as he moved along.
He had that a little bit in the canon too. Anyway, right? I mean, remember Tales of the Bounty Hunter or Jabba's Palace. Either way, when he was given Leia, he's a no.
I don't know if I think
I don't think he would have
killed him, but I definitely would have turned him in and walked away.
But that wouldn't have mattered. The point is, I think they would have done it and just replace it. Just replace Din with Boba. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You're getting into the nooks and crannies of what I said. I didn't mean like literally take Boba Fett and put him in that. I meant the badass way, the way he acts, the way he fights, the way he flies his ship. That's everything I ever wanted to see Boba Fett do.
And keeps his damn helmet on.
Right. Now, if Din Djarin would have been in the Book of Boba Fett as the central character, it'd be like, okay, sure, it's just some random Mando guy who wants to run Tatooine, and
it would have worked.
What I mean? Yeah, it probably would have. But we've got our minds also set on what Boba Fett should be.
Yeah.
Let's forget for a minute the fact that they put Fennec way above Boba in this. She was definitely the muscle and the brains in the whole operation. I don't know why she needed Boba.
I don't know her plan was in the whole thing. Go ahead.
I told you guys I figured out the one problem with the show, and it bugged me that I figured it out this time and not the other time. And it's probably a lot of people are going to hate it, but it's Tim Morrison. He's horrible. He's freaking horrible. He has no screen presence. There is nothing, man. He's just too much him. And there's way too much of him without his helmet on.
Disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
Trying too hard, overacting, it's just not working. And it takes me out.
He's the same character in Aquaman too.
I think that's what bugs.
Straight up the exact same character, especially in Aquaman 2. He's just kind of sitting there talking very slowly to his son and drinking beer. And it's
the way he enunciates the end of every word at the end of every sentence like it's the most important thing that's ever been said.
Right.
Yeah. No, dude.
Antonio,
you're right.
That's it right there. He seems like an empty shell.
That's it. I'm done. Yeah.
I'm not. I mean,
more so than everything else in that show. More than the bad plot. More than why are you doing this, and more than the biker gang.
Like the plot, I like I said, I'm nowhere confused of the plot. Like I understand what the creators did to Boba Fett. Basically, it made him reborn and whatever, and so the whole Fennec thing, I have to question her angle too, because she had an out and she stayed with Boba, and she's just like, you got to do this, you got to do this, and Boba's like, no, she still stayed to the end. I mean, almost like I'll die for you on every turn, and she's there all the time. And I think it goes against that mythos of what you don't see is so much more important than you see. And then when we get a character, a sympathetic character of Boba caring and stuff like that, I think that's where we kind of go like, look, all right, if it was anybody else, it's fine. But like that Boba Fett, that character, you just kind of twisted it into a different role that I don't think anybody saw coming or anybody wanted to see coming. And revisiting, like I said, now, I'm still loving the entertainment factor of it, but the fact that we have to start putting us into like this timeline and see where we're going with stuff. Like I don't even want him to show back up in Mando. I mean, it's almost like it's just, let's just forget it and let's just move on. You know,
I only want to see him for the fact that at some point in their lives, Mando and Boba will come head to head and meet up with Luke and Han. You know, and I want to see some kind of reaction to Boba. Right.
Yeah.
I want to see it. And
are we gonna want a Boba that's like, look, I tried that world and it's not for me. Now I'm back in, or is it gonna be the Boba that we left?
It would be new Boba. It'll be new Boba. They'll be new Boba. They'll talk it out and they'll team up. But either way, I want to see it. Right.
Yeah. Did Rhino Hobbies saying, did Boba spend 5 years with the Tuskens? Yeah, because when meets up with Mando.
Yeah, but I don't know if he spent 5 years with the Tuskens. I don't know how long he spent on his own, because you kind of get this feeling that there was a couple of years where it was just him and his old girl Bantha. You know, you get kind of the feeling they were just out there on their own.
No, because he got I understand, but I mean, if you go for the timeline, but when he got Slave 1 to where he got his armor, it kind of coincides and intertwines with the Mando story. You know, because.
The gunshot goes off during the story.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is. I mean,
there's no reason to say no. There's no reason to say, he spent 5 years. There's no like reason to say no, he didn't. I mean, it's just like he spent 5 years with them. That's cool, you know.
Okay, sure. But at the same time, he went from being, you know, in his dirty underwear to being a fully robed, you know, he takes one action against the Pikes. They take down that train. They give him his stick and they give him his outfit. He goes off on one thing to now negotiate with the Pikes, and he comes back and they're all dead. So did he spend all 5 years in his dirty underwear, or did he get that? Did he go off to negotiate with the Pikes, come back, they're dead, and spent the next couple of years on his own in the sands of Tatooine?
I think there's definitely time jumps there. Like when he went to go negotiate in the train, I think there was a lot. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the thing. And here is the thing also. I always revisit Kenobi and stuff like that because I'm thinking about Star Wars as a whole. I was always going in. I was also like looking into Boba Fett going like, this might be the last time I watched this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no reason to revisit it again.
And that's, I don't know. It feels weird, but at the same time, it's like, man, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
I don't even want to. I would revisit it if I do a full-on Disney Plus Mandoverse marathon. So it'll be revisited. There will be a point where I'm watching Mando 1 through Heir to the Empire. Yeah. You know, that'll
just
happen.
The essential episodes, or like a whole.
No, at some point we'll do marathons, man. It'll be like, hey, I'm going to watch this today. This, you know, Mando 1, Mando 2, Boba.
That's what I did too. Yeah.
Each time it just gets longer, right? And so you get to these movies and stuff, it just goes longer.
And I think the number one overall, you know, talk is like it's because it's Boba Fett, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. But that's why I'm so glad that Bad Batch, you know, we got a trailer dropped in our laps on Monday and a release date of February 21st.
This is actually good because we would have had a straight hour and a half bitch session.
Yeah, and that's where I was kind of not wanting to, right? Because the thing is, we've all said the same stuff. We've all said it before, and then I was just hoping that there was some sort of turnaround where it was except for like the Cad Bane, the Rancor, and Crescent, and all the other surrounding support characters were the best parts of the whole thing. Yeah, the twins, everything was great.
The last 3 episodes are phenomenal. I love them.
Yeah,
I love them.
Yeah, and of course the Mando, Luke, and Grogu stuff, right? So. Ernie is joining us. Hey man,
great timing.
What's shaking?
Great timing.
Did you?
What's shaking? How's it going?
Nothing fell. I see.
Mando Mike in the shower.
Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing fell here, but I was live, and you can see it. I was.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, Yoko's a whole different state, and Dario's, you know, New York. What's going on?
What's an earthquake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I
was
also
like, sorry.
I also see Rick Jones falling in here too. So
What up?
yeah.
Yeah, we should have some people popping in here now after they went and changed their chonies. We should be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Ernie, we're just saying, like, like last week we were trying to do like a Boba Fett reaction, kind of rewatch, and we talked after watching it, we talked ourselves out of it. We had a little spiel in the beginning here, but talk ourselves out of it, and we just want to get into the Bad Batch because that's I think that's like a little more important.
Okay, I'm gonna see what Ernie says. Let's see what Ernie says here.
I
watched it all again, Ernie, with the full
Okay.
intention of loving it and being cool and talking it up. Okay, the one problem I have is Morrison, Tamura Morrison. I think he's horrible, and I think he kills the entire show and the character. I think that's where I'm at.
Horrible because why? The way he acts,
the way he speaks it, the way he carries himself, the way he overacts.
Someone mentioned an empty shell,
he's changed from being Django right into this weird. Hey, now I'm almost like I'm Tamura Morrison. Look at me instead of I'm Boba Fett. Look at me, like he's almost not acting. It just doesn't work when I watch him. All the guys overacting. I don't get a Boba Fett vibe. I don't get a scary vibe whatsoever.
It was his show.
It was,
and he knew that.
Yeah. I'm the star, kind of.
No, that's what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah.
This is the book of Boba Fett. This isn't Mando. This isn't Obi-Wan. This is Book of Boba Fett, and that's how he was walking around.
Yeah, well, and it's just he took me out of it. Because I didn't have a problem with him before. I didn't have a problem with Django. I didn't have a problem with Mando when he showed up, right? Yeah. But this entire series, he was different, and it didn't work. Just even the way he carried himself.
I wonder how much of that was his acting choices versus direction. It's how much of that was his execution versus what he was guided towards. I mean, because he's always thought of himself as Boba Fett being a badass and all that. And then he's handed this script. In the script, he's not being a badass. He's being he's being what he is. So
he's being naive is what he is. He's being naive. The character's being naive in certain parts of all of a sudden he forgot how things actually work.
What you're saying is he's trying to play the same character differently though. Right. And that makes it difficult. He's trying to take
it's
hard.
What we got was the pilot episodes of Boba Fett, and now it's the concentrated thing, and we all go like, oh, that's not like the most weird bounty hunter in the galaxy. I understand there's character changes, but
Boba Fett in the Mandalorian was a kick-ass Boba Fett taking out stormtroopers left and right.
100%.
Yeah, it was. I was ready.
Well, not only that, but the whole thing. I think they know my face. That was great. The stature of them together, the walking off of his ship and everything like that. That was really good. I mean, I understand what you're saying. You're totally wrong, Chris, but still like.
And Diablo Cody thinks I'm different too, right there, right? Is it saying he's awesome? Is that what that's saying? Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm sure, like when I said it, I'm probably going to catch some shit for this because everybody loves Tim Morrison as a person.
But
right?
it's as I said, it was his show. But you're absolutely right on the Scott with what direction was he told? So there's a lot to it because we heard so much after, right, that he had this whole season 2 written down and it's going to go this way or nothing. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm too one-sided, man.
It's still,
be like,
I
still think it's the most important show. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
That's where,
I used to be able to see that. I don't see it anymore.
You don't? I'm still saying it's the show to tie it all together.
I watch it.
It's got important moments.
It's got everybody in it. But it's not like they tied. Luke didn't meet Boba. Ahsoka didn't meet Boba. None of them tied in. They already knew Mando. It didn't do anything special.
They intertwined
that would have happened without all of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's welcome Bootleg Joe to the show here.
He's updated.
He's updated.
Hello. I told him you had a screenshot of an old PC booting. Sent us.
Is it safe to come out now?
It's safe, man.
Yeah. No.
Checking in with the chat. Also, people checking into Cliff. We haven't heard that. That's a name I haven't seen in a long time, but he is there. And of course, he has to come in with Darth Moocher slowly becoming Darth Gimli, waiting for the axe saber to debut. And that got me thinking, I was like, okay, I got to model an axe saber. We have not seen an axe saber other than like a vibroblade kind of thing. That would be, let's make that a thing. So
that'd be cool.
So, joke's on you, Cliff. I'm going to make that a thing.
All right. So
Michael is. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just
put it in the printing list. We'll
Yeah,
see
putting it
someday.
in the list. Michael, Federation representation. Hope you guys are and the families are doing great. You too, Michael. Let's get into Bad Batch. So February 21st. Now that again, that's something that we don't have a slate for this year. And now in 4 weeks, we are going to start talking Bad Batch.
Cool.
I don't know how. I mean, I know we're pretty familiar with Bad Batch. We talk about it all the time, and we put that in our line talk. I'm hoping that other people do too, and not just kind of like, oh, what's this, or like, that's I'll wait for like the Ahsoka or the big guns, right? Ahsoka, Mando, stuff like that. So I kind of like want to gauge the pit and gauge basically the fandom on how close they're following Bad Batch. Is this because this is the final season? This is it. Season 3, it's done. And
I don't understand why. Why can't we go? Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, I personally think it's too soon to like go take that trailer and go scene by scene, right? I think it's cool that but there was a couple things in the trailer that it did show that I feels like, oh, that is game changing moving forward. It could be game changing for live action moving forward. And that's why I want to, like I said, implore people to get into the Bad Batch either through us as we watch it, break it down, and we will reference everything, or watch it, and get caught up, because now I'm going to have to go back and on Disney Plus to try to get just refresh what's going on. But yeah, so the trailer dropped, guys, and I was excited. I wasn't excited for Bad Batch season 2. I'm excited for 3,
because I know it's the final season.
Yes.
So they have to tie up some things that we all want. So
right. The stuff we didn't get into.
Right, at all.
Right,
like
correct.
They walked in the building and left again, right? That's all they do there. I've got to get into that. Yeah.
Right.
Gavin Connor just wants another chance to win at bingo.
Hell yeah. Big man. Bad
that's right. We get
the
return of bingo.
Yeah, there definitely will be bingo, because I feel like there's still a transition of stuff that we have to leave behind to get into like this action-packed season, especially being a finale. But there's like 22 episodes, I think there is still, or 20 episodes. The premiere on February 21st is 3 episodes dropping.
Oh, man, we're going to be busy for a couple
of months.
That's cool,
we are.
Man. Right on.
It's going to go right into May 4th, right? So it's going to be, it's good. So I'm assuming there's going to be filler, and they're going to find out what's going to be happening.
Oh, yeah. It's going to bug everybody. Everybody's going to get mad like every third week. Everybody's going to be pissed off. Why am I getting this bullshit?
Yeah, season 2 did some good job as like bringing, like some meat into the storyline, like Tech. They mentioned Tech in the trailer, and they showed him falling again. No body, no death. We'll see what's happening. We got Crosshair is basically, I don't know if he's in prison or he's just in the like this line of get in line with the soldiers and go die for the Empire kind of deal. That's what kind of made it look like. So he's all depressed. We got Omega's captured. We got Tech is supposedly dead. As far as the Bad Batch, and it's all about them and clones again, and conscripts versus clones and the Empire. We're in the full-on Empire now. No more transition. So there was a great shot of the Emperor with with all the stormtroopers, the Imperial Guards. I'm sitting there going, this is awesome. And like I said, this is the time frame I relish in. I love the Galactic Empire time frame.
Yep. You're sure it's 22? You guys saw 22 episodes?
I don't know. I just saw.
I'll bring the schedule up right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did see that. That's right. I did see
it's
the
a
titles.
grip. Well, the premiere is 3 episodes alone.
Right. But I did see the titles. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, we've got so we've got the season premiere. We've got season premiere episodes 301, 302, 303 through February 20 on February 21st.
15 episodes, yeah.
No,
I was freaking out. They're usually 16, so it's one. I was like,
yeah, I was just throwing that number out.
In there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Excited there. Like, wow.
But
they have the titles. We have the. Do you have the screen with the titles?
I didn't see.
Oh no, I did not see.
I'll shoot it to you real quick. Go ahead and I'll get with you.
Yeah, the title.
So,
yep,
awesome.
Yeah, the big reveal in this whole thing was the return of Asajj Ventress, and Cliff and people are in the chat right now talking about like. First off, wait a second. I thought she died in the novels, the canon novels. And there was a post from Star Wars saying like, yeah, she died, but
They're aware of it, and they're
aware of it.
Everything is gonna be okay. They're nothing will mess with Dark
Yeah.
Disciple, is what they said. It'll make it work within the time frame or
They
within the
Dark
story
Disciple.
of Dark Disciple.
Exactly. So I'm
'Cause
gonna kick
sorry, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna kick it to Chris to kind of give us a brief history of Asajj, where she was and how she died, and now that we have her officially coming back in the time frame of post-death and what that can mean going forward. We'll get into that talk, but I do want Chris to kind of like get into Asajj Ventress a little bit and bring us up to speed, and also how she died and or supposedly died, I guess. Now.
Sure. Real quick, Scott, I sent it in the team chat or the group chat. The picture. So we'll do it after this part. So I didn't prep for this, or I would have put together a damn PowerPoint.
I know.
So Asajj, when she taken or given from Dathomir? Either way, she leaves the Night Sisters, right? She was born a Night Sister on Dathomir.
Hold on. I have the next best thing. I have got screens to share. So here we go.
Okay. She gets taken from I'm not going to pause every time because I'm going to lose my mind. So you just got to stay with me.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm not going to work towards the screen.
I've only got like 6 images. So you go.
Okay. Cool. So she was born a Night Sister on Dathomir. I forget what the reason was right now. Right. But she eventually goes to goes to a different planet and is trained by a Jedi as a Padawan. So she must have been taken. Right. So here she is as a Padawan. She doesn't kill right here. She's not the one killing this guy. I believe Dooku kills this guy, right? And comes and takes her from here. So she's trained as a Jedi Padawan. She's obviously already trained in dual wield lightsaber early on. Her master gets killed by Dooku, and Dooku takes her on. Dooku brings her to the Emperor. All of a sudden, she becomes the assassin. What was the assassin episode? Was that in the Tarkovsky? When they had that That's one of the hold on real fast. People watching right here. This scene in the micro series is one of the coolest things. That's like the first time we had water hitting the sabers like that.
Oh yeah.
It was so clean.
Asajj's premiere, right?
Yeah,
This
is her fighting Anakin.
I know, but
this
in
was
the series,
Duel on Yavin 4.
She fought Yoda with Watto's people.
Her premiere was in that pit where she was fighting all the other people, and Dooku was trying to choose who was going to be his.
That's what I was asking. That's the pit. This is the one where she was that one. Okay, so
this is Yavin 4.
I got the series is where she made that.
That's what
she had to train or show off and fight in front of the Emperor and Dooku, right, to show what he had, and she was destroying all sorts of things. Anyway, super powerful assassin, right? She's not a Sith Lord by any means. She's being used basically by Dooku,
like what a Darth Maul basically
became, right? But we saw, but she's not a Darth, right? He was knighted Darth. Whatever.
I would say a Sith assassin.
She is. That's what her name is. That's what they call her, a Sith assassin, right? But she thinks she has dreams of staying with Dooku and doing things greater, right? Probably overtaking the Emperor. He's probably filled her head with all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But he's basically beating her into submission, like where she is. She's all loyal to him for the most part, right? Through most of the Clone Wars, she is, until he turns on her. God, guys, you're gonna have to help me here because I did not prep for this at all. When did he turn on her? He was gonna kill her because the Emperor told him to. Told it's good time to get rid of her.
The Emperor got scared of the rule of two that he had her.
Yeah, but
they were like growing together, but it was the things they were going through and everything, and then he basically was like, "You got to kill her." And it was how fast he turned.
Asajj came in, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, real quick for Brandon Epler, just real fast. The stuff when we say the Tarkovsky series, that's not canon. We just talk through that like it is because we like it. The Clone Wars, most of this is canon. The whole part about the trying out and all that stuff, they haven't put that into canon yet. But that's what we saw. We just keep that in our heads because she had to get there somewhere. So we're leaving it until they change it, until they retcon that. At least I do in my head, right? So. Yeah. She fights through here. Now, what the great thing about Asajj is she's not just like this vicious villain, but she is. She's super scary, super strong. And when she came out and we had Ahsoka, nobody was bitching about these two leads, right? Being awesome and all powerful. Just oh, by the way. And nor was I. And I bitch about it all the time now. But I didn't complain about these guys because they're freaking rad. But while she's great at her dueling and everything else, right? Her banter with Obi-Wan is really what makes the character. Between her and Obi-Wan, the way they go back and forth and tease and fight, and even her and everybody, right? Her wit and her character is very, very cool.
She goes toe to toe with him, especially there's an episode where she and Obi-Wan are both stuck in a transport with I think Savage and Maul are flying them away, and the two of them back and forth. It's great banter.
Yep.
So
always,
Wars, man.
Every time she's on the screen, it's a good episode for sure. And then we get to the point where Dooku backstabs her when Palpatine says it's time to kill her, right? So she goes on the run and basically becomes a bounty hunter. Mm-hmm. This is what all comes up during the Ahsoka trial, right? When Ahsoka's accused, and Barriss Offee and everything else going on right now, we're coming up on when she's a bounty hunter.
One other thing before that, she goes back to the Night Sisters and she rejoins the Night Sister clan.
All right.
And she's welcomed into them with, open arms. You can be one of us. And Dooku catches wind that she has rejoined the Night Sisters. So in the most brutal kids animated show you will ever see in your life, Dooku sends down his army of droids and they obliterate the Night Sisters, and you are seeing death and destruction left and right. It is absolutely freaking brutal.
That's it.
And
that was what I was asking a minute ago. When was the turn? That was the turn.
That was the turn.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was the turn, but now she's on the run. She's a bounty hunter. Ahsoka's being framed for a murder. Anakin's trying to prove her innocent. They start battling, thinking it's Asajj because Asajj is kind of being framed for it. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this. But anyway, Asajj ends up kind of working with Ahsoka a bit here, which is neat. And she had worked with Obi-Wan before too. And later on, we're going to hear right before her death, she was working with the Jedi again. Right. Yeah. So we get through all that. Let's fast forward. Okay. We leave all this. She's on her way on as a bounty hunter. She knows everybody. She's done with Dooku. Do you want anything else out of Clone Wars? I want to jump over to Dark Disciple now. There we go.
Dark Disciple.
So Dark Disciple, this is a book that was an arc of Clone Wars that they turned into a novel. And it was one of the first canon novels that I remember reading. So it must have been first 10 or 5, right? Mm-hmm. It was early on, and it's fantastic.
I think it was like number 2 or 3 because the first one wasn't
very
like
early. Yeah.
Tarkin.
Yeah.
Tarkin was one.
Yeah, and like the rebels, the origin of Hera and
New Dawn. Yeah, New Dawn was early on too.
Yeah.
And that's why. Okay, so when this news came out that she broke, and we started talking before we noticed that it said about Dark Disciple not being screwed with, I'm all damn. Dark Disciple was so early on. They're going to say F it, we screwed up, and they're gonna get rid of it, and that sucks because this is one of the best canon novels. What it does is it shows us the Jedi literally have Quinlan go undercover with Dooku, right? And he turns through this. He has to go through the dark side. He has to go through his trials over there, and he's basically a Sith Lord. I forget what they called him, but he had a name on the Star Destroyers, destroying stuff and wreaking havoc. He became a bad guy for a while on purpose, right? And then the Jedi don't trust him anymore when he comes back. It's a long story. I don't want to get into the whole book, right? But through this time,
they don't trust him, and at the same time, he's like, "You did this to me. You made me do this." And it was Mace Windu. I remember because I'm sitting there going, "God damn, it's always Mace Windu." Always,
you put me in this position. Now I'm screwed. And then at some point, they team him up with Asajj to go after, right? And anyway, long story short, they fall for each other, right? And in the end, when she dies by fighting Dooku, did they fight Dooku and the Emperor? Now I can't remember that either. I'm a horrible storyteller when I don't prep. Right? But anyway,
sorry.
When she dies, what happens when she dies is he takes her back to Dathomir, and he basically not buries, but puts her in the water where they all go, right? And then it drops her in the waters of Dathomir for her to be with her sisters,
right?
After the destruction that Dooku put down. Right. So she's there. She's dead and dead. I mean, you don't fake dead from going across the galaxy in a ship with a Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean, she had gotten to the point where she had turned and done so much good there and helped out with Quinlan. And the Jedi didn't trust her, Mace specifically. Right. But Yoda kept giving her the benefit of the doubt. By the end, they were ready to let her be a Jedi again. Right. I mean, that was how this all went. It was a really cool story how it all worked out. But yeah, that right there, she was dead. And so it takes away this book that's early important canon that was a part of the Clone Wars. Now you see her show up and you're like, wait a second, there is no way because she died during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
And how many times and how many times did we have her in our canon or our discussion going like, damn it, we can't because she's dead. Yeah. Damn it, we can't. That was our whole mantra. It's like, damn it, I wish Asajj wasn't thing. So I'm assuming Night Sister stuff happens. She's alive.
Right. So here we are with this. Right. And I'm assuming she looks, I guess she looks older. It's hard to tell with Asajj. Right.
I dig her look. By the way,
she has hair. I see. The problem is, I'm going to get a Funko Pop finally.
yeah,
And I'm going to get this one.
You're gonna.
And I'm not going to get the Clone Wars one that I
Correct,
want, the
right.
bald one. That's what sucks.
Yeah,
right? Just like my battle droid with the clipboard is going to come eventually. I'm going to get all these screwed up versions.
Yeah.
So here's the hard part. They say it's going to work with Dark Disciple. If she's dead, is this a flashback or is this Night Sister magic? She doesn't. If it was Night Sister magic, dude, I would have thought she'd be dressed like a Night Sister.
You're right. That see right there, like it right there when you said flashback, because she basically has that look of the Dark Disciple. Based on the only image on the cover, she has that kind of look. So it'd be kind of disappointing to me if it was just a flash. And look, I'm against the whole somehow anybody comes back in Star Wars. I can't stand that, but Night Sister magic, you know what I mean? Like,
I buy it. I buy it.
Right? Well, you get what I'm saying?
But that would mean that Morgan's not dead.
You're right. Well, but because Asajj was on Dathomir, the homework, and we're going to Dathomir in Ahsoka, maybe because being buried in the sands.
That's where they leave her.
Morgan was killed, and then a building collapsed on her. So I mean, she's like squished. She's like dead.
But that is a Dathomir homeworld too.
I was gonna say. I was just thinking, that was the original.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Son of a bee.
I mean, there's so many that we could go through 20 different ways. We're like, okay, it could be a clone, right? We're actually there we go. It could be a clone. We're dealing with Mount Tannis.
So
we are.
But she's too clean. She's too clean. The Emperor would be easy if you can clone Asajj that easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
Since we've already had a name drop of Quinlan Vos in Kenobi, do you think this is our opportunity to see Quinlan and possibly Asajj team up to start the path?
Has to be. Well, has to be a chance. It is a chance to see Quinlan. I think the path is exactly what I think has to happen, dude. I don't know if it'll have to do with her, but I with Quinlan and the path has to happen.
Well, since now you mentioned flashback, and that quote from Star Wars was basically saying, look, we're going to address the Dark Disciple. It does seem like they're using that plot in Dark Disciple to tell something going forward rather than bringing her back from the dead and using her going forward. That again, that's just a direction that now you got my head spinning with. It's something that's going to be happening in that time frame where we need these two characters, Quinlan, Asajj, for something moving forward to Tannis, go instead of like somehow she came back and now she's a part of live action or even like jump forward, all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would that see if they do this whole, and I say somehow, tongue in cheek, but really somehow she came back again. If you could bring her back, then you could bring Morgan back. You could bring all these other Night Sisters. Are they truly dead? All, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
well, they've brought the Night Sisters back too. I mean,
as zombies,
Mother Talzin came back. It just kind of like reanimated after being murdered. Well, and then zombie.
I see that more of like almost like a holocron or like an echo of Mother.
Yeah. This is just a clean. It's not even zombie Asajj. That's like Asajj.
Right.
Yeah. So with that tease. And then they said that whole thing. I said, "Don't worry, we got it. We understand what we understand that she died in the book, and we're gonna address all that stuff." So that's where the theory crafting and everything where we come into.
If it's a flashback, here's what sucks. If it's a flashback, I'm actually disappointed. Usually I look for them, right?
I know.
It was a cool flashback, and here this is one character. I'm like, please bring this one back. I'm cool with it, and put her in live action in the Mandoverse, and we're all cool with that. I think.
That's the dangerous.
Wicked old though, but.
But also it's also that, like you mentioned, cloning. That's the dangerous about Star Wars and bringing up the clones is because of that. You could just bring anybody back any way you want. It's not the same person, but it is the same. And it's like it's a comic book trope that just kind of like gets old, So that's my concern on that. And as much as I would love an Asajj, because her name comes up more often than we think. Than in our talks, even our side talks and everything. How like, man, if you guys are talking about the path, and you guys are talking about Quinlan Vos, and maybe this is the way to get Quinlan back into the mix. It's mentioned in Kenobi. Now it's like, okay, well, here he's been here this whole time, and using the Asajj plot, storyline to propel him into our story would be awesome too. It's funny that they would use Bad Batch because Bad Batch seems to be doing one direction to go into like Rebels and the path. Oh, well, I guess if Rex is part of that path and stuff too. So I guess there you go. There's the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one scene deviating a little bit. There was one scene that an eagle-eyed person caught where it showed Hunter and Wrecker standing there looking at the camera, and then you see a gun right next to Hunter pointed outwards, and it looks like the sniper rifle from a Crosshair. So do they break him out? Does Crosshair rejoin the boys? I mean, there's a possibility for it.
Yeah, we're assuming that has to happen, right? I was against it, but it's probably the.
I think that's how we get Omega back with the guys. I think.
Yeah, my prediction is that as far as like the Bad Batch group, Crosshair's redemption is saving Omega, getting her back to the guys, and they escaping, and he dies in the process. That to me is like the real heroic moment of that. Like you lose Tech, you lose Crosshair, but you still have the three moving forward and going to the Rebels, with Omega. That would be cool. To me, that would be cool rather than Crosshair rejoining them. I'd sit there and go, it's already started this kind of domino effect. You lost Tech, you lost Crosshair, but Crosshair, his story is complete. I think that'd be awesome. I think we're going to have some really cool clone stuff happening with Omega. We might even get Alpha, Mr. Boba himself. We might
need to. They name dropped him. You have to see it at some point.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you remember where we left off, the cloning scientist that's helping her is another clone of her, essentially. I think
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I know. We have to revisit the basically the last couple episodes of Bad Batch season 2.
Last couple, because if I recall, I didn't love the first half of that season. Right? It's been
the first. Yeah, it's
exactly.
It was more the same. It was more the same when Sid.
That's why we started bingoing. That's why we started bingoing.
Yeah,
like, what's going on? That's right.
Cliff, I like this idea, but not all of them. So Cliff is saying prediction time. Do they go Rogue One with Bad Batch and everyone dies, or do they save characters to be used later? I think yes and yes. I think maybe maybe Echo and Wrecker are the only ones that survive, and they go to the rebellion with Rex and stuff like that kind of stuff. Like 2 of the 5 survive, but the most of them die.
Kill Omega?
No. I don't think Omega dies. I think as far as like the original soldiers, the clones
are too much.
I mean,
they're all Bad Batchers. Come on, you've been watching. So,
you're right. I have to we have to put that because it's tough though, right?
What do we think about Cody? Do you think we're going to see a return of Cody? Have we already seen a return of Cody in that trailer? Because there were several clones that we saw in different colored uniforms. Does
Wolf is in
Cody
there.
Was Wolf in there? I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
He's for sure in there. You can see him. He was one of the in the front, like you're saying, but shadow enough, and you can see his helmet.
Then Wolf, we're gonna see their group is gonna get built up.
Yeah, we might get Ahsoka in this. We might get Ahsoka with Rex, and then Rex confronting Cody, or Cody confronting, trapping him somehow. That would be cool because again, there's a lot of interactions for the last season that we would love to have as a cool thing to see.
Since this is after, where because where Ahsoka would be probably was with the Mandalorians right
now. In the Tales of the Jedi, she's at this time frame, isn't she with Rex and like?
Is she already gone? You won't think
she at this point? I think she's already on that planet, just hiding and playing the farmer.
Oh, from Tales, right? Like that.
Tales, yeah.
Okay.
But Rex recruited her.
They send the Inquisitor after her, and then after the Inquisitors, when she leaves and finds Rex again. It's all in that book of hers, to the Ahsoka book.
Oh yeah.
I just
Cliff is saying he thinks Wrecker dies for sure.
That would suck. Wrecker's awesome.
Here's the thing about
That's
that.
Why he'll die.
If I had that choice of Wrecker or Hunter to me didn't grow on me as much as the other guys, and he was kind of boring. So like
he's like the main one and the worst one. Right?
He's like the leader of them, and he's the he's the most boring. I don't know.
He's to the Bad Batch what Duke is to G.I. Joe. He's just kind of the vanilla.
Yeah, just the face of it, and didn't make any good decisions, and
the death that'll really piss me off is Echo, because as I don't really care for his character very much, but knowing where he came from and his part in the Clone Wars and the whole bit, I think that's the death.
That's why I think you save him. But you're right, like that would be like, oh man, what a life. Like
no, but that's that gut punch they want to give us, right?
Yeah.
You take Echo out twice.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right? But that we already had that gut.
Up.
We already had that gut punch with Tech though, because I mean that was
Tech
really
was
liked Tech. And
Tech
I didn't think we would have a death of a character of that nature. If you understand what I'm saying here,
I understand.
Yeah, he is a different kind of character in Star Wars, and I did not think that we.
But he's also very likable.
But also he does the same stuff as Echo. You need one. Remember we talked. You needed one of them gone. Yeah. But Echo could have just went off with Rex instead of killing off. Tech. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. No. Again, no body, no death. I don't know. It's just
somehow can't do that anymore. We can't do that.
Somehow Tech survived.
Villains are okay. I'm okay with villains coming back because that's what makes them scary. Right, you can't kill these guys; they won't go away. I'm okay with that. But you can't have the good guys coming back. Yeah. Don't just say somehow. There's a process.
Don't say somehow.
And it can be easily as Night Sister magic. And that's what you know what happens though.
Night Sister magic happens.
If Asajj comes back with Night Sister magic, all the interweb is going to be like, well, that's how Palpatine should have come back. Why was all the mess with the machines?
Right.
Just go grab a Night Sister.
But I'm okay with that because it fits to the thing of the Night Sister coming back.
Yeah.
I think the best way to play it out is when we see her here is they stumbled across something that they shouldn't have. And I know everybody's asking, is Bad Batch going to die? What if they don't and they actually help her and Quinlan with this path? I think this is the opening to the path.
It's very possible too.
And they need a group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the best way of, okay, Night Sister magic did bring her back, but she's been in hiding all this time because of the path.
Let's bring her picture back up real quick while we're talking about her. If you could, from the Bad Batch, please.
Oh, hell. Okay.
Oh hell. Well, I'm gonna say is just looking at her gear, right? It makes sense. She's got a backpack on. She looks like she's in like not so much a camp, more like a rebel gear.
She's got the yellow saber, yellow saber.
Yeah, we know she's on this side, but I think the backpack's the key here. Because she doesn't wear a backpack anytime else. So you're taking
maybe this is older Omega, which is fool deceit. No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah. Stop it.
Besides all the talk that Star Wars did about Asajj being in it.
Right.
And the voice and the look.
I think it's safer than just killing them off to keep them in the background as saying they helped in hiding. And I do think what's his name is dead. Tech is they are going to have him dead. We're all thinking, oh no, he's going to pop up.
No, and that's just because we're scared of that. That's I don't think anybody really wants that, or we're afraid that they just write that in there. Tech isn't dead, blah, 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 and he comes back and does this, and he comes back and does nothing. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we like Chris said on the heroes, they die and they stay dead. It's the villains that they could keep, regurgitating them, because again, it's that unknown power and why they're so unstoppable and why they need to be stopped and all that stuff. But yeah, my thing is like, I love Tech and I love the way he died, his sacrifice stuff, and stay dead. Cool. Asajj now, like flashback makes more sense as far as like the typical stuff, but Night Sister and the Emperor are two different things too. So there could be something that Night Sisters aren't truly dead until blank. You know what I mean? That's why they can resurrect zombies. Oh no, because they did with the troopers. You know what I mean? So it's like, but they're zombies.
I suppose,
We're also steering ourselves towards inevitably the rise of Skywalker, right, and the return of Palpatine. We've already brought 3 Night Sisters over from Peridia with the Empire. I mean,
Dathomir.
Grand Admiral Thrawn, to Dathomir. So Thrawn has these Night Sisters. If he's part of the plan, the grand plan, along with Hux and all of those others that are on the Shadow Council, maybe those Night Sisters are integral to bringing back Palpatine. In the end, it could be all. It could all be.
That, and you're very true, and and that would make, like I said, if that was like, remember what I was saying before, it's like,
and
Grand
it was
Admiral
Project
Thrawn,
Necromancer.
yes,
Necromancer.
Project Necromancer, and with Night Sister technology to keep the Emperor alive or to do whatever until the Emperor,
Well,
finds
if you remember that Kylo scene, there was creepy girls there working in the thing already. I mean, who's not to say that they were that? We just didn't put it as them. As
you mean the Sith Eternal, like the
there was a couple of scientists like moving around his
and
machinery.
that would be like what was in those cases that they were taken from the galaxy. What they were loading the car up to be, all the Sith Eternal sorcerers or whatever. That would be that would work. See that makes it more it makes it more better. But
it's gooder.
It puts sugar in your cornflakes.
Yeah. Let's see what Cliff is saying here. I just hope they do it right. Otherwise, why not have it be one of the Jedis who survived 66 versus bringing back someone from the dead?
Yeah, right. It depends on the storyline where they go and do it. But yeah, you're right.
Because
they could have just used anybody. And that's what it is, Ernie. That's what it is, man. We're in Filoni's sandbox again, right? He's all right. His character has come back. I want to use Asajj in live action. So it's
because our wish list is to have Asajj in the fold. I loved her in the Clone Wars. I loved her, going on. It was just a very.
I don't know anybody that's going to complain about that. I can't think of a person. Now, what's going to happen is they're doing it so you can bring her back in live action, right?
Yes.
That we're the only ones that care, right? Number one, a very small portion knows she died in a book, right? That
was my least favorite part of that book.
Right.
I was all in on that book, and then she died, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. But let's say 5% of the people read that book, and it's less. I'm telling you, right? Another 20% of the fandom watches all the animation. It's probably smaller than that, right? You're still 75% of everybody's going to watch the live action. Had no clue about any of that shit.
It was funny that you say
Ahsoka stuff, right?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was actually explaining to somebody today, saying like, okay, the Bad Batch trailer dropped, and I said there's something in there that is very, very cool, and it's something that people who like are 100% into the canon and the comic books and all that stuff that we will know, but anybody else just kind of like, oh, this character appears, assuming they will watch Bad Batch, they won't know that this is just a brand new character moving forward and all these things, and then could pop up in Ahsoka and all that stuff. But I told him, I said, but there's a transition that we need to find out how this person survived, because she did die in the books. Right. And she was an amazing character in Clone Wars during that whole era. Dooku's apprentice, which the book Dooku, she was amazing in there.
Yeah, she sure was, dude. Everything she's been in is a plus because of her. Hey, hit up Papa Schmidt. Hit that last comment real quick. I'm going to go toe to toe with Papa Schmitty for a second.
Papa Schmitty says, what they needed was a girl Sith with a cool new lightsaber so they can sell a bunch of merch to me.
Yeah, no. Now, normally I'm on that boat.
Right.
I'm all over that, and I'm mad about it all the time. That doesn't count with Asajj nor Ahsoka. They're already well established. They're awesome. Yeah. That's not what they needed right here. This is just the love of a character, not a need. They can make a new one. They did in Ahsoka. I mean, Morgan and all that. They can create whatever they want. Reva. They can do whatever they want. We're bringing Asajj back because Asajj is top shelf. That's top shelf villain or good guy, just character and all. And that's coming 100%. From somebody who I bitch about the MCU all day, right? I'll complain about that all day.
You just call it the MCU.
Yeah, I saw it on the internet somewhere on the thing. I was trying to be one of those.
I'll jot that down.
I was like, wow.
I keep things in a file back here, right? But you can see it there, and I complain about it, right? But there are some characters are established, and some characters you're putting them on there just because you need exactly what Papa Schmitty said, right? But some aren't like that. So here I am over here. Reva might have been that, right? Reva might have been that. Asajj is not.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
That's how I
see
something.
So is this the first time like a major character they killed off a major character in a novel like this, like off screen?
Good question.
Oh man, that is a good question.
Why
would they okay that?
My intuition is
because it was already a Clone Wars arc. This was already they didn't do it. They didn't think they were ever going to do it, and they didn't see this happening. So
the book even reads like a Clone Wars arc too. There's little side missions. There's you feel like the chapters are different episodes or the sections of the book. But I think that's a great question.
And when you go through it, don't you vision them as the clone? I mean, like when I see Obi-Wan, I see the Clone Wars Obi-Wan.
Yes.
When I see Quinlan, I'm not envisioning them live action. I'm envisioning them are animated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know,
How old's the book?
since the beginning of canon, like 2015,
2014,
it's
2014,
it's
Wow.
one of the first handful of canon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which is why I was almost ready to give it a pass in chat. Right? I'm like, okay, he's having to pivot because he wants this character. He has to pivot. But they say they're not gonna, and they immediately said they're not.
They said they're gonna address it. Basically, like the reason why we're seeing
they
her.
said all's good.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'll trust that. They knew enough to say that, so I trust it.
They knew enough to say that. That's what preserves the EU canon, I guess. The extra canon, the books, the comics, the cartoons, or the commercials, toys. That kind of.
Hold on, Cliff. They killed Akbar on screen. You just didn't see him blow up.
Right.
He was on the screen.
Cliff.
Joey was asking about a book,
and it was in the movie. And Joey was asking about like because when we brought this up so many times before about like a book and comic, how like you're gonna read it, and at the end of the day, you might get some tidbits, but nothing is a world breaking. Nothing is changing. But with Dark Disciple, it did. Like they killed off a character we all know. This wasn't Asajj. It wasn't really a secondary character. I mean, no, she wasn't a main character, but she wasn't like this throwaway character either. No, she had a great role during the Clone Wars. You know,
in the old Legends book, they did kill off Chewbacca in the book. That was awful.
It's the reason we have canon.
That's right.
Yes, it is. It's and they killed off General Nadine. I remember they killed him off in one of the Jedi Academy trilogy books.
See, I'd be okay. I'd be okay with that, or Wedge, or people like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. But when Asajj does feel a little more. Again, like Nadine, I have down here. You know, he's
right. Asajj has a pivotal role during, like Asajj I said, I know like maybe her role, but it was just first off like I said, awesome character.
Yeah.
Like you take Wedge and you take Asajj, and I think like you get more out of Asajj's role, her arc during like the Clone War stuff than Wedge did. Again, I'm not discounting Rogue Squadron and all that stuff with Wedge and stuff, but because I really didn't get into his storyline. But if you told me, oh, we're gonna kill off Wedge or Asajj, I'd be like, oh, Asajj, she's awesome. I don't want her to die. You know what I mean? I would have more. You couldn't kill one of the. Yeah, nobody drops a moon on Chewie.
Yeah, exactly. I say you can't at this point. You can't kill a legacy character in a book.
Not in a book.
No. You can't kill any of the main ones. Like even you would say I can't kill Rex, right? Rex isn't dead yet officially. When we see his death, it has to be. You would think shown somewhere, animation or something. Well, no, I guess not.
Oh, hey,
Commander Cook hitting us with the $9.99 super chat. Can't stay, but here's some credits. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate that tremendously. And hit us on the replay, man. So thank you, Commander Cook.
Thanks.
I don't know, man. So I'm you have to kill him on screen. I don't want to kill real good character. You couldn't have killed Dooku off screen. You couldn't have killed anybody. I see Asajj like that, but Asajj was only on screen in animation, so it's a little different, right?
That's right. You're right. It wasn't like and again that 20% of the fandom who watched those, and then the 5% of those who follow it's like but
This is a good Cliff question because it got
Rex was confirmed on Endor, right?
It is still being hotly debated on the internet almost daily because A, it's the internet, and B, nobody has given a definitive answer to that question.
They gave a definitive answer that it's not going to be definitive ever. Basically, Filoni
I thought it was in the cartoon shorts.
It didn't say it.
Not the same uniform. Not quite the same uniform. You still have Nick Sant, and you still have Captain or Commander Rex at that point.
Right. And I think
Filoni recently said.
Was it originally Pablo Hidalgo is the one who said it could, like, those ambiguous answers, like, yeah, sure, it fits the time and it could be him. It's like, I don't see why not it's him, but it's not a definitive, that's 100% him or no, because then then they're backed in the corner of he can't survive past this point or because he's in this. And so I think that's why.
Or I can't kill him earlier.
Right. That's why in the Bad Batch or whatever they decide to kill Rex, it won't bite him. Like you said, he's in Endor. Yeah.
But like Ernie said, he was in the Galaxy of Heroes animated shorts that are technically canon. He was on Endor.
Oh, so he lived. He just wasn't Nick Sant.
Right. Which I mean, given the choice,
well then we're still
Commander
in that same
Rex,
situation. Then
they are
kill him.
given the choice between Commander Rex or Nick Sant to take off on Saint Nick. I'm going to go with Rex, and
Absolutely.
it's just the internet are like, don't you go changing my Star Wars?
Yeah. Well, again, we're back at square one. You can't kill Rex post or pre-return. So
yeah. It's weird. It's weird though, but it was recently that he said that something about we'll let everybody else make up their own mind on that right now. There's no reason to.
Yeah.
Until
they
need a reason to.
Yeah.
You
until
know,
they decide to say it. Yeah. I'm you know what? It's just kind of like a side tangent on Rex. Though someone asked me, they're like, is Rex alive? So assuming that didn't die in war or battle, is he alive during Mando's season? How old of old age? Like how would he still be alive of old age?
You can do the math on this. You can do the math on this because he was 10 years old at the beginning of the Clone Wars because he was one of the first set of.
He was a generation one.
Well,
right.
10 clone years, but people years is.
No, 10 people years to create a full clone.
10 people years. So he's like 20 years old, 20-ish years old.
That's right.
Is that 1 year of clone years then? I'm just trying to.
10 Ush years. Right, because that's Phantom Menace to Attack of the Clones.
Right, yes. Right.
That's how long it takes to grow.
So how old is he in human years and Attack of the Clones?
20
human
years.
What's a 1 to 2 ratio then? So.
So we can do the math from there and figure out he's probably in his 80s, right?
Okay.
I mean,
so it's very possible that he is in a retirement. Yeah,
he's 20,
maybe 90ish.
It's Godzilla -1.
Godzilla he's old. Carry the 5.
So
okay, cool. So that's very possible. Okay. Yeah, and actually,
he would be the guy you go and visit for wisdom, not the guy.
Yeah, and I actually would love to think that Rex died of old age. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get that a lot in Star Wars. We don't get that a lot in.
I would prefer that. Actually, I'd prefer to hear Ahsoka talk about it on the show about how she lost Rex 5 years ago. You know, at the Battle of Jakku. You know, I'd rather hear that he died, or not even at a battle, or he died peacefully in his sleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Peacefully.
But Ahsoka telling the story is all
Ahsoka we need. You know, it'd be great if she said that Battle of Jakku, and somebody says, "Oh, well, at least he died in war or something," and she says, "No, he ended up staying after and passed away." Or something.
The house that Mando lives in now is Rex's house. Retirement.
He's approximately 82 years old. If you do the math, he's approximately 82, 83 years old.
So he's too old to be
carrying around a blaster, but I mean that means he was fighting in his 70s on Endor right there.
So Cliff was also saying at the end of Rebels,
he did fight there. It just isn't the same guy. It's two different.
It's not that dude.
White bearded dudes there. They haven't retconned it yet.
Really cool.
Not
really
officially.
Cool.
Yeah.
And literally, not even like a week or two ago, they talked about it. Like somebody asked Filoni specifically about it, and he was very ambiguous.
So I do have those Bad Batch episode names pulled up. If we want to go over that,
are they official or are they just?
Yeah. Oh, okay. These were, I believe, official. These came out pretty.
Yeah, sure.
Now,
let me bring them up really fast. We are in this window right here.
It's actually give us some predictions. Let me get rid of that here.
I just want to see when Asajj is coming.
Oh yeah. So
Paths Unknown. That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Shadows of Tantus is okay. All right, this is good.
There we go.
Confined. So the first 3 episodes: Confined, Paths Unknown, Shadows of Tantus. Very cool. We're going right into Tantus.
Confined. We're getting the people broken out. Right. We're going to be in the jail with Omega and
that looks
Crosshair.
Like episode 6, Infiltration Extraction.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no, they're not rescued. Okay, they're not rescued. They're just in jail together.
Right.
Okay, then there's stuff.
And then the return, that might be this. The return.
Yeah.
No,
that could be.
I'm going with number 2. Paths Unknown, The Path.
The Path.
Yeah.
They needed their help to break them out of somewhere.
Well, there's your flashback then.
Yeah.
I think she's immediate. Like, this is how we do it.
You know, we always say that too. Like, we always get whatever's in the trailer is in the first couple episodes anyway, right? That's we always kind of see that. So you're right on that. It could be right away. Don't have to wait till episode 15 to bring back a reveal like that.
Yeah.
So we've got episode 4 on February 28th, A Different Approach. Who knows? Maybe that's a Sid centric episode.
Yeah, right. We're gonna go to the
cares?
south gate instead of the north gate. Yeah.
Omega's gonna listen.
Yeah. Here's a different approach.
What a
Yeah.
dick.
The return is the
there
return
goes
of
the
tech.
bingo card.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
The
Tech's
return of
return
tech.
right there. So let's go on.
March 13th, we've got a double episode. We've got episode 6, Infiltration, and episode 7, Extraction.
All right, that's
Seems
the
like
rescue.
filler
That's
names,
Crosshairs.
right?
Crosshairs Rescue.
That's the rescue.
Yeah.
That's-
Yes.
It's
right.
So we're
it's
gonna go
Crosshairs
5
Rescue, but he's
episodes?
in a dentist chair the whole time. So it's, anyway.
You don't think that it's Omega's trapped too? Is that Omega's?
Omega's trapped too. Yeah.
She's gonna be
Mhm.
trapped for 5 episodes. That's a long time.
That'd
to
be-
Well, they got
That'd be awesome.
there's that one doctor dude that's gonna be all on doing stuff, right? So like that's where I think we're gonna, like I said, the first that's really cool. But our headcanon can go right into like the first few episodes of like getting into the clone stuff, maybe some emperor stuff, some all necromancer, everything. It's like
Mhm.
let's go. Last
go.
season, man, let's go.
Yeah. March 20th, we've got episode 8, Bad Territory. March 27th, episode 9, The Harbinger. And I do think The Harbinger might be Asajj. I mean, usually a Harbinger is a herald of bad tidings. So, I mean, it could be,
But she's a
or
good
maybe
person.
that's the Emperor. And maybe the Emperor is the Harbinger of doom.
That's what we didn't talk about in the trailer at all. Is there was a heavier Palpatine?
Could be a
presence
ship name,
now.
too.
We're gonna get.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get heavier Palpatine, which excites me. I like that. Right.
Yes.
Somehow he's returned.
Let's somehow Palpatine is in this more often. Let's go.
Oh, and then we've got episode 10 on April 3rd and 11, Identity Crisis and Point of No Return.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
Yeah, identity crisis, sure.
So episode 11 is the expose episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
probably.
yeah.
Episode 12, Juggernaut, could be a ship.
That's another again, ship again.
Yeah.
X-Men
Episode-
time.
Or that's where Wrecker dies.
Oh, don't
Juggernaut.
Oh,
No.
Juggernaut. And does he go out saying, "I'm the Juggernaut"? man?" Is it?
No, because we can't cuss in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ah.
You just can't drop the F-bomb.
Fuck
Yeah,
the
you know what,
Empire.
Chris? You know what? Forget it.
Did you? I heard her say it in an interview on somebody's post. I'm like,
She's
well,
wrong,
yeah,
too.
it sounds better when she's in it when
Yeah.
she's in
No.
the interview. It's just, I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. Bring it.
I cannot wait for the return of Andor.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
I can't wait
April
either.
17th, episode 13, Into the Breach. April 24th, episode 14, Flash Strike. So we've got the big DC crossover happening.
I was
I was gonna say that.
We reset
Yeah.
the timeline.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Where it resets and all the timelines
There's
show
Nick
what would have
Cage
happened.
Superman again.
Oh, God.
And then May 1st, we've got episode 15, The Cavalry Has Arrived, which is apparently the very first line that Wrecker said in the first episode that introduced the Bad Batch.
Really?
So, yeah.
So is
Yeah,
he the cavalry?
good-
Is he
good
got
little
other
Easter
people
egg.
like Rex's people? You figure is the cavalry or the rebellion?
Maybe.
No, early rebellion or the path. Quinlan and Asajj and
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Cliff. I don't know. Are you watching us live or like in the
Yeah.
back?
nice.
Should
It
be no
happens.
ads.
We break the commercial break. We didn't know.
I'm like,
We would've done it.
yeah, that's a good thing,
Yeah.
Cliff.
Yeah, you monitor. I don't know, Cliff. I don't know what happened. I mean, ads.
That's
That
right.
should never
That's what-
happen.
Paid.
That's what 3,000
Right,
subscribers
exactly.
get you some ads.
Why? And why
That's right.
was it? Why? What commercial was it? Please tell
Yeah.
me it was toy orientated or something. Some Star Wars chonies
Men,
or
it's
something.
I guarantee it was a Men's Health.
It was
ad.
him.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a hymns episode.
With all of
Um,
us. Did you take your vitamins today?
Yeah. But
Well,
I honestly don't. I don't know why, because like the live streams
It
usually
happens.
don't have ads in the middle. So
only the good ones.
beard dye.
Uh,
I don't use beard dye, but yeah, they can always advertise to me.
It was
Well,
beer guy.
all I know
Hey,
is
wait.
the way that
jerk.
if that ad played, we really needed that 0.005 cents that it's going to get us. So,
All right.
thank you for watching that ad.
Boom.
Yeah. Don't skip them.
Oh wow, look at that! And Antonio got just for men. LOL.
No,
Antonio, he actually saw 3 ads
Hey, I'm not going to sit here and get roasted by the pit.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not gonna take this.
Matt too. What's up? Matt got it at the same time too.
Weird.
Wow.
Two different ads, two
You
different
know,
devices.
Well, guys, what was the last thing you
changes.
heard? We'll start over.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Go through
What
it.
did you miss?
Well, it
Right.
should have paused. Yeah, YouTube changes daily. I don't know what to do. So
I think
yeah.
Antonio here is really messing with us here. Beard dye.
Yeah. Punks. I don't
Antonio,
get it.
by the way, and Antonio is the other half of the Holy Hour Cure podcast.
Ah!
And he's
nice.
got an awesome
yeah.
band out there in New York called Cult Leader. And if you're into 80s style new wave rock alternative stuff, it's right up your alley. So give
nice.
that a listen.
Yeah,
Cult
yeah,
Leader.
definitely. Also, thank you for staying up in New York to talk some Star Wars too.
Yeah. Oh.
Cliff, yeah. Yes, it means you guys are monetized. I'm happy for you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I also, yeah.
We need those tens of cents.
Damn
It
right.
helps us keep these lights
Hey,
on.
I love it.
Yeah, damn
It's
right.
pretty fun.
I would do this
Yeah.
no matter what. So
We
but
were
yeah,
doing it
so-
for free.
We were doing it for free for 6 years.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we call it line talk, right? Every time we get into that. But so speaking of that, again, that's we have a line. We have a line to get into. And I welcome that news that happened so fast, like February 21st. It is Bad Batch. We're gonna get that and we're gonna get it done because again, no more after that. It's done. Let's see where it takes us. Let's see how many plot points can they carry over to Mandalorian to fast forward past the original trilogy and get, is Omega survived? Does Wreckers, some of the Bad Batch survive? Are we going to get those guys later? Very interesting. There's a lot of potential there. So I'm excited to actually get the conclusion of Bad Batch, not because they don't like it. It's just that it's like, all right, we're in it for these amazing stories, not a 10-year, drawn out thing.
Yeah, I just need the connection. That's all. We don't. Yeah, I
Connection.
don't need this to go for 6 years to connect to Kenobi like flat on. Just say how we get to the path. That's all. Just show it, and then show us what the cloning is going to do, and then drop it, and then we'll catch that up later in somebody else's show.
Oh
And
yeah,
you don't want one show going, especially not to dog it or anything, but of all the shows, Bad Batch is probably the least mainstream of them. I would say, right? You're dealing with a couple.
It's a cartoon.
It's
It's animation. Animation doesn't do
Yeah.
as well as live action.
and you're really not top tier right now. in character.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
that first season of Bad Batch, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was like, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't like it. Like it was just these little run-off adventures, and Omega was just like, I'm doing my own thing, and then it's just like,
Yeah, it wasn't until the last 3 episodes that it really got kind of powerful. Some of the
like not even
scenes,
Cad
the
Bane
Fall
could
of
save
Camino
it.
and
And plus Cad Bane is back too. He's back in this in the trailer too. So we got Cad Bane and Fennec, I believe, right?
yeah.
They were both in it.
Bowing
season
down
one?
to Boba.
Yes. So they're making their
Yeah.
return into.
Well, and see that won't work, right? Because they don't. I don't get the vibe that they knew each other. Do you get that?
They were
Well,
fighting
they never-
each other the first time.
No, Boba.
yeah.
and Fennec.
It's because the interaction was that showdown, that first interaction of Book of Fett when
I
Cad
got
Bane
you to
came
say
out
is
and
he
they
there
were
for
and
reals?
Cad Bane wanted to bait him. And then Fennec talked Boba Fett down, being like he's baiting you. And then there was no connect like that would be cool if this is Fennec, why are you with questioning her to bait her. That would have been kind of a cool
that would
little
have been
turnaround,
good.
so.
Yeah, damn.
But,
that would have fixed that whole show.
There's a question in the chats from Royce.
Yes, bring
here.
it
It's
on.
off subject, so feel free.
Cool.
This is not my wheelhouse, so please take it on, guys.
Royce, welcome. He's saying, I know this is isn't Bad Batch specific, but how about Star Wars gaming in the next few years? Do any of you have any news insights of KOTOR remastered? So KOTOR remastered is in this flux of being made, not being made, dropping it, I don't honestly. The last we heard was the studio that was doing it is not doing it. Maybe they pick it up again. But as far as this year, we have Outlaws that are coming out at the end of this year, which promises to be like this amazing open world storyline set in the place between Empire and Return. That I'm going to be playing the hell out of it. And I do want to live stream it. That would be very, very fun to do. So there is that game that I think is going to turn a lot of heads. But as far as a remastered, bring it on. I think a KOTOR remastered would be amazing. Because the only way to play it earlier was on Steam and it's always broken. But through the original Xbox, it was an Xbox exclusive. The Knights of the Old Republic. But in the gaming world, I still play Cliff. I still play SWTOR. Maybe not in raiding and stuff, but I still play and just kind of run around planets, and that's still a lot of fun too. But yeah,
Cliff is also
Hunters.
telling us that with our ads that we could become the next Theory, just as long as we don't become the next Zero.
Yeah.
Well, not unless we start whining and getting cut off from stuff from Disney because we took some copyrighted material and.
Yeah. So there is zero chance that we would become Zero. Because
we discussed, just so you know, we discussed it behind the scenes one time. It was like, do we just go that route and we can get clicks and crap, or do we do this because we love it? Do we do this? We want this for likes, or we want this for
the latter?
And we decided.
I voted for likes.
I know.
Honestly, we could have 43,000 followers, but we don't hate this thing,
That's
the problem, if we wanted to hate it and we wanted to just do nothing but bash Disney constantly, and if we wanted to get anti-female,
it would hurt right here to bash it to the way those guys bash it.
It really would.
Serious about it, right? It would be like, I can't. It's like we can talk. It's almost like how we opened this live stream today was like discussing Book of Fett, but also we do recognize a lot of what it did. We just kind of not into it, but we're not going to sit there and be like, it's dead. They hate you. Whatever. They're doing this, they're doing that. It's very very toxic, and it doesn't make it
doesn't help
feel like you're a part of the Star Wars community.
Now that it's part of the universe, right? And now I don't get mad about it as much. I mean, I get fake mad, right, about it.
Sure.
I'm not going to leave anything, but it's more fun now to poke fun at it. I watching Boba Fett, I was getting frustrated with it. Don't get me wrong, because I realized it, but it's more. I'm having now that it's part of Star Wars, I can poke fun at it. I'm getting mad.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else is like, oh, I'm leaving. I'm taking my.
We still do it with the prequels. We still do it with the prequels. We'll just go, oh my god, the dialogue and this and that and this and that. But
love them.
We love them. A little different with Book of Fett, but yeah. So to wrap it all up, we had a Hasbro live stream too. I know Ernie covered that on his show too. So of course, check it out and see
what's up,
stuff. But there was some pre-orders that went up if everybody's in the collecting world, and there's some shakeups at Hasbro too. Positive, negative. Who knows how it's going to play out? I know there's a returning player coming back into the fold that maybe will revitalize the collecting world, and there's somebody who went to a different department. I'm avoiding names on purpose, that will maybe help or to kind of clear some paths to get the stuff that we actually want on our shelves. I know that we'll probably talk more about that stuff. But as far as pre-orders, just to kind of wrap it up today, I know that the Destroyer Droid, Thrawn, and a new clone trooper as far as the Black Series came out today, and I got 2 of those damn Destroyer Droids or Droid Decas, and that Thrawn looks, oh my god, that Thrawn looks like a hot toy Thrawn, and it's a Black Series. It really does look good.
I ordered that one.
Had he shown up in the show and looked like either one of those figures, I'd been fist pumping. It wouldn't have been like it wouldn't have been the double take, right? It would have been like, whoa, those figures are badass. I hope he sees that. He's like, oh, I should.
Yeah.
Stand.
He didn't go to My Little Pony. He went somewhere. He went to Nerf full time.
Nerf.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the world.
He got
world
nerfed.
direct. Yeah, he's the global director of Nerf now. It's like, go make guns.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, bye.
Leave us.
You can deal with phone calls now.
Congratulations.
Bootleg. I replied with a GIF of that. Well, bye in a chat. It got deleted.
Yeah, after they give you a thumbs up, and then you go in here and troll them with the.
Yeah. No,
Jake Goody checking in. What's up, guys?
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Jake?
As far as vintage collection figures that were announced, the Sabine and Chopper 2-pack that finishes off your mural for the Ghost, Those dropped today, and I did have. I asked Moocher nicely, and
you
gave
got
him a
two
little,
coming.
gave him a little hug, a little virtual hug for picking a couple of those up for me.
I'll pick up the real hugs later when I see you.
Yeah,
You just got to give him a hug.
Yeah. Oh, what did you do?
I told you
asked for a lot more. Wow.
Sorry, I should have kept that between us, Mooch. Should have kept that between us.
Yeah,
but
now I feel dirty.
That reminds me. I got to see you, Ernie.
Yeah.
I got to still see you.
They also announced, I want to say it was like 6 additional vintage collection figures, and every single one of them is a repack, except for the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. And I'm like,
Cobb Vanth, right?
And Cobb Vanth, yes. So 7, I think 7 new releases. Cobb Vanth and the Fleet Commander are the only 2 that are new. Everything else was a repack. I mean, some of them straight up repack. Why are we getting a second Axe Wolves?
Look, man, and a Fleet Commander.
Well, the Fleet Commander I get because the Fleet Commander I get because he's a character we don't have yet. He is an individual character, but there's no reason to have another Axe Wolves. But isn't this Axe Wolves where they lowered the warning sticker? Is that that's the X-Wing Luke? That's the X-Wing Luke.
So guys, congrats, you're getting X-Wing Luke, but this time the figure's not different. It's the warning sticker. We lowered it so Kenner could be more visible.
Yeah, so the original logo.
I don't understand why that's a exciting talking point in a live stream when people are going like strangling him already. Why add that in there? This is a pre-recorded thing.
Is that what goes on in the marketing meetings with them?
Dude,
you should redo this one because the warning.
I don't know who's complaining about that.
I honestly think we are seeing what we saw in the live stream is the last death throes of the last team, right?
I hope so. I hope
new head of the team is coming in. I hope there's a change up because the guy that they have in place now is a fan who's actually a part of all the boards, all the fan sites.
He's coming back to Hasbro.
He came back. He's the head of global direction or something. He's got some wacky name, but he takes part in all those fan polls where they have, list your favorite 25 figures. We'll vote him out. He's in all those. He sees all the names. So I'm hoping that this guy being a fan can bring something new to the table for both Black Series and the Vintage Collection.
Carson Teva or Riot. That's all.
Dude, why are we get X-Wing? Really? Everybody wants a Carson Teva, and you're going to re-release X-Wing Luke, who just came out like 2 years ago?
Yeah, and the pipelines weren't even better. They weren't better. Later this year, it's like that means we're back. We're now and we're summer, halfway through the year, and it's like I don't get it.
And the new Thrawn's coming out in 2025.
2025. It's
2025. It's January 2024. People, come on.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't even pre-order it. I'll just get it when it hits the shelf.
And then you have this. What Santo said too is he saw some vintage figures today for 27 at Target.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it had to have been the packs. It had to be like Sabine and Chrysanthemum. It had to be those. It can't be an individual basic carded figure.
I mean, they're getting there, but not. They're getting up in price, but not that far versus a deluxe or something.
Oh
2K. Gordon is asking Chris, did you pick up?
I have everything besides Balin and the gray mouthed Night Trooper, but they're both on the way. So,
cool. Yeah. Okay. So cool.
And when I say everything, I mean everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Literally. He needs to do a tour of his room.
We got to do a tour room of Chris's pops. I mean,
we'll come over, we'll film it live. We'll go live on YouTube and we'll just walk around Chris's and he can point at his favorite pops.
Yeah, why not?
We'll be there all night.
5 minutes.
Taking
be there all night.
If you didn't see my private chat, I'm bouncing right after this. I'm sitting here starting to sweat.
You're like, dude, it's been an hour and a half, man. We gotta go.
I'm bouncing. Like, will you guys hurry the fuck up?
Oh, I see it now. Okay, Chris.
I seen Joey. Joey saw it earlier.
Is that what Joey was laughing at?
I'm like,
Joey and I are both coughing to death here because we can't stop laughing.
Oh, that's funny.
Come on,
Well,
man.
okay. Well, that honestly does wrap it up for this week's anyway. Because next week, yes, we do have our Shadow Council topic, and of course, I'm sure that we will gather other Star Wars rumors and theories and all that stuff. But Chris is not even waiting.
Gone.
He's not even going to wait because he knows how long the outros can go too.
He had a turtle head poking out.
So, but I'm going to say thank you to everybody that's being digested in the pit, joining us live. Catch us on the replay. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to kick it over to Ernie. Ernie has been on fire over there at the Fallen Fett Chronicles, so go support him. Make a
Thanks, man.
I know you're getting a cushion of subscribers. We need to double it. You need to get double it. A lot of fun stuff over there, man. I enjoy a lot what you do. That trivia was amazing. It's just fun. I like what you guys do over there. You, Yoko, and Dario and stuff. So make sure you go support Ernie in that too. So
thank you, man.
No problem. But so I'm gonna kick it over to you to return the compliment. So I'm just gonna sit back and wait for it. So,
yeah. Remember, tonight's show was sponsored by Toshi Station Emporium. Right now, for all your figure stand needs, for everything that you collect.
Earthquake.
We had a
roof.
4.5 earthquake, and none of these fuckers fell over. So
even though 4.5 is like chicken scratch.
I still got scared,
but still,
I didn't cry because I was live. So I was manning it up right there. Oh, do it again, and I'm shaking. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Toshi Station Emporium, they'll definitely have you covered. Thank you very much for everybody's support on that. I see a lot of people who post that and have them and add to their collection, and I need more. And I've been sent messages. So yes, Mooch, you're doing a good thing over there.
Thank you.
I don't like it because then all my projects get put on the back burner, but that's okay. So
there's a lot of projects on the back burner.
There is, but that is the world of 3D printing. That's okay.
Yes.
That's
need more printers. That's all.
Yeah. So again, Toshi Station Emporium for all your figure stand needs. As you're going through and you're checking us out, we have tons of content on here for you. Definitely a backlog of stuff that can get you through your day, your week, whatever it may be. So hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when we're dropping something or when we're on. And then go through and hit that thumbs up on all those old videos and everything. You can catch us on all social media, from Instagram to TikTok to Twitter to even our Facebook with 24/7 Star Wars Talk and a really cool Star Wars community that we got going on over there. That's a really cool place. And like that, when trailers drop and everything, everybody's full on into it in the day. So go check that out on Facebook. And then we will see you next Wednesday. Same time here. We're getting really close, so might have to do some more little deep dives into these characters maybe and come up with some
100%.
stuff.
100%. I feel like, again, as Bad Batch gets closer, we might have to kind of revisit some major plot point. I mean, we did today, but like kind of get into like refreshing because
and the pit was totally into it with all their questions today too.
Absolutely.
As far as, what about this person, that person?
I love it. Yeah.
Be cool to go through and do that again. So if you're on part of the replay crew and you're watching this, there's somebody who you want us to talk about or deep dive because maybe we missed something from this trailer and like that.
Even
be sure
more
and drop your
Asajj,
comments
we'll see
down below and we'll see what happens. But we'll be here next week. And then yes, please go over to Fallen Fett Chronicles and hit the subscribe button and check out some stuff over there. Does it?
Sounds good. Anybody else before we get out of here?
We're on the road to 5,000. We want to have 5,000 subscribers by December 31st. So if you know a friend, your friend is even remotely interested in Star Wars, tell them to like our show. And I don't know what we're going to do. We'll do something special though for 5,000.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it is yet. We got to make it up. Usually we make this shit up as we go, but
yeah. Also, we do have a milestone coming up too. In about 7 episodes, it'll be our 250th, and we are going to do something. We've been talking about something really kind of cool, scavenger hunt ish, kind of whatever during the live stream, but so something fun. So that's coming up, very very fast. Yeah. So with that, I think we're done.
It
Joe,
nerdy, everybody. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Joey.
I know Joey is healthy. I hope, and back with us now?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been bad, right?
It was pretty scary for a while.
Yeah.
it's
Chris
horrible.
just loosened up my lungs, so
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what we try and do. Anything on the Lego scene, Joe? Have you heard anything coming down from Lego?
Star Wars wise, not really. Just I mean, nothing like significant. At least for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a Lego collector, they're coming out with a lot of, like, if you're into flowers and stuff like that, like for the for the women and stuff, if you're for flowers, plants, they're coming out with a lot of
I
builds
want
for
those. Yeah.
I just bought me the Japanese garden, so
Nice.
that's gonna be a nice one right there. But
yeah,
I'm always
I haven't
looking
seen
out
too
for
much
those.
Star Wars stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Cool deal.
So
all right. Well, with that, Scott, go ahead and say it again.
Keep it nerdy, everybody. This time for reals.
For reals, for reals.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.